What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. Today we got a good one. It feels like the whole league has been flipped on its head today. We have T. Higgins requesting a trade. We have Saquon on the Eagles. We have Josh Jacobs on the Packers. Aaron Jones gets cut. Tony Pollard on the Titans. Austin Eckler on the Washington Commanders. DeAndre Swift on the Bears. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. We have a ton to talk about. So I figured I'd hop on here and we would talk it out. I think we're going to do an underdog draft in the background and just kind of shoot the shit on what we're sort of feeling between fantasy football, dynasty football, and just have an all-encompassing talk. We'll kind of don't hold any promises, but we might stream if there's big moves tomorrow, right? Like we still have. Let me actually share my screen real quick. But how are we? This has felt like a pretty sick free agency day. Like I feel like sometimes it's lacking, but today has been sick. Let me share my screen. Hopefully PFF doesn't swat me and knock down my door for showing you guys this is kind of a paywalled article. So everyone just be quiet. How are we though? How are we, man? Is this a Falcons fan in the chat? Oh no, it's just a Phillies picture. But what's up, man? What's up? How are we? We got Among Us in here. We got Bindles in here. What's going on? Fields on the bench. Yeah, Fields hasn't been traded. There's reports that the Bears haven't been seeking a trade for Fields because they're not sure that Caleb Williams is their guy. Very weird. Very weird. I did do a poll today. Hopefully I don't expose myself here. What did I do? Can you guys see this all right? So I might put this in the chat. So I did a poll here. 474 votes. Who would you prefer in a Dynasty Superflex tight end premium? Justin Fields or the 112? And pretty overwhelmingly, it's the 112. I got to be honest with you guys. We have these ebbs and flows with Fields. It's 100% a risk that Justin Fields is not a starter in week one and that he gets Trey Lance, for sure. But there's also a scenario where he gets traded somewhere, he puts up QB1 numbers, and you get him for a pretty huge discount. So this poll here would suggest, man, if I could sell an early second, can you do an early second for Fields? Can you do like the 205 in a 2025 second? Does that get you in the ballpark if like the 112 does? So let me know if you guys get any Fields shares. I think I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't mind buying for anything that's not a first round pick. I don't know if that offer's out there. But Fields has had these ebbs and flows of his career where he's been on the outs in Chicago or he's been hurt, where you kind of ride these tides. And I think my a good friend of the channel, Jacob Sanderson, has said it before. But with Justin Fields, you can kind of just ride the waves. Like usually people are sort of overreactive with him because he's such a polarizing player that when he gets pushed up as like the greatest of all time, you sell. And when it's like, oh my God, he might never start an NFL game again, you buy. So if I could buy for a second, I don't hate it. That's like my first hot take of free agency day one, is that Justin Fields, you could do a lot worse with a second round pick than grab Justin Fields, who is trading as like a first, a top 15 startup pick just like a year ago today. We got Austin in here. Yeah, let me know if you're in here. What's up? How are we? Antoine G finally made a Ron live. What's up? Sup, bro? Jersey in the house. What's up? I did miss people. Oh yeah, I'm usually hesitant to ping the Discord, but it felt like today would be a good day to ping everybody. Fly Falcons fly. If you're a Falcons fan, do you like what happened today? So what do you think? Are the Giants contenders now that they got Brian Burns? They're going to need a quarterback first, but I mean, today was huge for them. I mean, Brian Burns was huge. Hometown kid, Jermaine Illuminor coming back home. They really need a wide receiver. That would be huge for them. But I've never doubted Dable. Since the day he got signed, I thought that he's a good coach. What rookie pick would you value London at in a Superflex rookie draft? Probably the 108. I think it gets really close between him, Odunze, and Brock Bowers. Somewhere around there. I think he's about even. Value at 107. He's a buy at 108 or later. Loving the reaction live feed. Hell yeah. We got Austin in here. We got Antoine. I already read some of these. Jacobs on the Packers. Aaron Jones gone. Yeah, I would love to see Aaron Jones to the Texans would be sick. Because Devin Singletary went to the Giants, which is crazy that they then sign a running back in free agency. Even though it's 3 years, $16.5 million, signing a running back in free agency after letting Saquon walk doesn't feel great. See it crystal clear? Perfect, perfect. What's up, Andrew? I finally made a live. Traded Gibson in a 26 third for a 25 second. I don't hate that. The Gibson one flew under the radar too for me. Where Gibson goes to the Patriots, which then sucks because him and Ramondre are like similar skill sets of three down backs, all purpose backs. If Gibson affects Ramondre as like this bell cow 3-down guy, and he becomes any sort of capacity of like a third down back, that gets really messy. What the fuck are the Jets doing? Literally just being terrible. Joe Douglas is at fucking Jersey Mike's doing nothing. Ronald Darby to the Jags. How do you feel about Swift to the Bears? Theo Ash hates Swift. I think I'm a much bigger fan of Swift than Theo Ash, but I don't love it. It seems like Khalil Herbert's a really efficient between the tackles runner. Roshan Johnson's a great pass catcher with size. DeAndre Swift now kind of like screws up all of that, and then you have like a three-way timeshare. If DeAndre Swift, if we're gonna get him at the similar prices as last year, right, where he was like this 8th, 9th round pick in a crowded backfield, I guess I'm in, but it's a lot less sexy. I will say though, the Bears used him the Eagles used him like Miles Sanders. If he gets that DeAndre Swift receiving work with the Bears, then he becomes a lot more interesting. Pitts Bijan London bag holder, not Falcons fan. Yeah, they all got huge bumps today, which is really exciting. Pollard to the Titans is gross. Yeah, that one's not fun. Sir March. So I'd say Eckler murdered B-Rob fantasy value. I don't know. That one's disgusting too, man. That one is disgusting too. You have Gus Edwards signing with the Chargers. I guess that's Greg Roman's guy. I still think that they're going to draft like a Blake Corum or an Estime or a Braylon Allen. Maybe even a receiving back too, like a like Dylan Laub, if that's how you say his name. Yeah, the Tony Pollard to the Titans didn't make a ton of sense. The Cowboys haven't filled that need, so we'll kind of see what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys can make a run at Derrick Henry. The Cowboys have been linked to Jonathan Brooks in the draft. Sir March, we'll see. We'll see how this live stream goes today. We might do one of these streams every day of free agency. It really depends on if the NFL is still throwing fastballs like it was today. Had to let you know you won my $1,200 league. Hell yeah, man. I do appreciate knowing that. Henry going to be a Raven? It seems like one of the two. We'll see. Up and day down. Dude, I was shocked that Aaron Jones got released, man. Was Aaron Jones' contract that bad? Because I know he was hurt last year, but when he played, he was amazing. He was genuinely like an engine of that offense down the stretch in the playoffs. I really don't get that one. So they released him on his last. They're gonna have to pay him $12.3 million this year. No chance. They're paying him No. There's no way. The Aaron Jones thing is one of the more confusing parts of the whole free agency period. Let me see if can I find anything that's like. Does anybody got like I need a salary cap guy to explain the Aaron Jones thing. Like what are they paying him in dead money? They released him. I need the contract guys to come up big here. 6-year-old Aaron Jones. Can't overpay. No idea why the Packers did this, but good for Jacobs. Damn it. I'm looking for something for Josh Jacobs. I still don't understand. Are they... Am I reading it wrong and they don't have to pay him anything? That's just what I'm trying to figure out. I would be shocked. Are they just eating that dead money? Packers will clear $5.2 million in cap space with release of Aaron Jones, $12.4 in dead money. Maybe an outside chance they June 1st him. Packers save $12 million in cash with the release. Don't they still have to pay the dead money? The cap stuff, I'll be honest with you guys, for someone that talks about football for a living, the cap stuff is freaking confusing, man. Feeling so on the Bears pickups. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be all that excited. I mean, the Jalen Johnson extension is huge, but that wasn't really today. Olave or London now in Dynasty, or is it very close? It's super close. I'd be tempted to move Drake London ahead. I gotta be honest, I just moved some cords in a way that really should have unplugged my camera, but we're fine. You're not excited to see Jacobs twice a year? Yeah, he'll be fun on that offense. He didn't want to take a pay cut. Aaron Jones, that makes sense. I still don't understand. I know it was the last year of his deal, but they still have to pay that final year. He's going into the final year of his deal. Am I an idiot? Do they not have to pay that final year? Like a dead cap hit of $12 million doesn't really, like, that's a lot, I feel like. I think maybe, but they save $12 million despite having 12, I don't know. And it somehow frees up $5 million in cap space. All right. And it's the final year of his deal, so that dead money will be fine in another year. All right, I kind of get it. All right, so let's hop into a draft here. We'll keep talking through free agents, so feel free to ask me any questions on where to value these guys here, how I feel about certain moves, because I feel like I haven't even covered all of it. But I did want to do a draft in the background just for fun, just to have something going on for you guys to watch, kind of like the... you guys ever seen those TikTok videos where they have like they have like Subway surfers in the bottom of like a political street speech? Essentially doing that here. And I'm really behind on my big board drafts. I'm at like 31. I think that it's halfway filled. I should really be at more like 75 if I want to fill it. I'm going to end up having to do slow drafts, and it's going to be a nightmare, but this is why we do it, people. What else? How do we feel about Gabe Davis on the Jags? If you guys remember, if you guys were following me in season, a big issue with Calvin Ridley on the Jaguars is that when Zay Jones went down, he had to play this X-wide receiver role that is going to be perfect for Gabe Davis, like down the field, boundary, contested catch stuff. That's not Calvin Ridley's strong suit. He's more of a Z, where he's going to operate and, find space, be the smooth operator. So Gabe Davis is definitely really good for Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. It does mean, though, that Calvin Ridley's likely gone. Now, I will say, I don't think the cap's going to work out this way. But if they could somehow keep Calvin Ridley and Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, like that, they're cooking with heat there, because you could have Christian Kirk in the slot, Ridley at Z, Gabe Davis as your wide receiver 3 who comes in as an X or can like also run block as a bigger receiver. They'd have a lot of functionality there, but it costs a lot. Evan Ingram was a free agent, Christian Kirk was a free agent, Gabe Davis was a free agent. It would just be a lot without any like rookie contracts at wide receiver. All right, so let's show this here. Here we go. We're going to hop into one of these. Why not? Do I have any early rankings? I do not yet. All right, so you can tell that the big board's filling faster than they'd like it to fill, because you have to scroll all the way to the end to get to the big board. We're going to hop into one of these. By the way, as you can see from the ticker at the bottom of the screen, you can use promo code Ron. I'll have a link. Let me actually put the link in the chat right now. But if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, they have fantasy football drafts already. That's what we're going to hop into right now. It's pretty crazy that this far out they have NFL drafts or fantasy drafts, but this is why I love Underdog. By the way, I didn't announce it on the channel. I announced it on Twitter. But my original deal with Underdog was 2 years. It expired after the Super Bowl. And we have reached an agreement on another 2-year deal here. So we're going to be with Underdog for the long haul. I'm not really sure if anybody was curious about that, but we are still very much sponsored by Underdog. They are the best. They have treated me like an absolute king since the day that I reached out to be an affiliate with them. So shout out Underdog Fantasy. They are the best. If you want to hop in here, get in a draft with me. They also have like the pick'ems. They have a billion things that you can go out there and do. Make sure you check it out. And I'm going to hop into this right here if anybody wants to hop in alongside us. Now, back to free agency talk. Let's do this real quick. What do we got here? Would you trade the 105 for London in a second? I don't think I would. Like, you're getting Malik Neighbors at worst there, which to me I would need an extra first to go from Malik Neighbors to Drake London. That's how much I like Malik Neighbors. I know it seems like maybe that shouldn't be the case, but all right, so let me pull this up in a separate screen. What do I usually put? We're a little bit rusty here, fellas. I know we do this ever so often. I should really be much better about this. Man, we are flooding in here with viewers. If you are in here and you haven't already, make sure you like the stream. It just helps us get more people in here, more exposure, better conversations. So leave a like. We only have 8 likes for 124 people. Come on, fellas. I'm out here streaming on a Monday night to get you guys the most up-to-date free agent information here. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions as well, like anything you guys want to hear about with these free agents. I'm trying to think of anything else that we haven't touched on. I feel like I've done a decent job here. We have Saquon. We touched on Jacobs. Man, that Eckler one does not move me, man. The Eckler one does not move me. They have Cliff Kingsbury. Dude, Eckler just looked bad. He just looked bad and slow last year. Like, he did not look good for the Chargers. Oh, shit. I forgot that they changed this, so, like, now you can decide to sort by projection, ADP. That's cool. I'm going to have to start uploading some rankings on here. Let's go with... Fine, we'll go Tyreek Hill. I can't turn him down. If I'm picking 6 to 12 in the first round this year, maybe I should have taken Bijan just for the fun of it. Do you have any early rankings yet? Not yet. I will say tomorrow I'm going to be updating my Dynasty rankings just like post-free agency, even though we still have free agency moves going on, just to get a rough sense and feel and kind of adjusting as free agency happens so that pretty much as soon as like Wednesday, we're going to have some Dynasty rankings, Dynasty trade target type videos for the post-NFL free agency period here. Bijan Legendary Season uploading, I would absolutely love it. Man, I should have taken Bijan for the fun of it. I do agree. I do agree that you could make a case for me as high as 102 for Bijan with the Kirk Cousins signing. I will say, the only thing that's scary is Kirk is coming off of an Achilles injury. So who knows how he's going to look in year one, but or week one, I mean to say, but it's still really, really strong. So I said I traded him before today's news, but I agree, just going to eat that L. Who were you talking about? Oh, Drake London for the 110 and a mid. Oof, yeah. Sadly, you did. But it's tough. It's tough to time the market because if they traded for Justin Fields, that probably looks like a decent value. Like, if they traded for Justin Fields today, like, the market would be spinning saying, oh, my God, like, Drake London and Kyle Pitts will never be good ever again. Zay Jones is solid, no need. That's fair. But Zay Jones and Gabriel Davis are, like, very similar archetypes of receiver. I get what you're saying, though. Bijan top 5, yeah. Bijan's RB2 at worst, probably. Ron's the winner of free agency. Yeah, I technically was a free agent. I technically was. I didn't really... Is Saquon a selling Dynasty right now? He probably is. Saquon really hasn't been the same guy since his ACL injury. And then, like, that weird ankle injury that he had. He's not the same guy as before. He's getting towards the end of his prime at this point. We know how running back production goes. You have Jalen Hurts stealing a lot of touchdowns. You have Jalen Hurts not checking the ball down. Like, DeAndre Swift's going to even really get catches. So I don't know. I know some people are going as far as saying, oh, well, Saquon's going to be in a great offense. He should be the RB2 overall. I think you definitely move him up. But I'm not sure. I'd have to see where the market's going to be at with him. That's kind of the big thing, is kind of seeing how a spot like even if you don't like Keep Trade Cut, they are like essentially the most up-to-date trade calculator, so just so you can kind of see what people are saying there. But if he gets into that like ETN, Jonathan Taylor range as like a early third startup pick, he's probably a sell. But Saquon's been inching towards sell territory for a while now, it feels like. Got the 102 for JT in a one quarterback. Oh, that's sweet. So what's that? Neighbors at worst? Stefon Diggs goes. All right, so we're up here. Our first pick was Tyreek Hill. We're staring down a shit ton of wide receivers on the board here. I don't really want Josh Allen if we can't have the opportunity to take Diggs. We have Devontae with Gardner Minshew, Rashee Rice, Debo, Chris Olave, Tank Dell. Give me Devontae with Minshew. It's not a sexy signing for him, but I do think the Devontae Adams fall off has been overstated. We're just gonna get all the old geriatric wide receivers here. Would you boys take Neighbors or May Daniels at the 104, assuming Caleb MHJ? Tough to say. I wouldn't really, assuming that you pick after the NFL draft, I really wouldn't even worry about who you're taking at 104 yet. But it's good to get an idea. I personally have the QBs over Neighbors, but they're all in the same tier. Would you keep Jacobs round 2 or Gibbs round 3? Gibbs round 3. Don't forget me when you take off next fantasy season. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. We'll truly see about all that. Let's go Josh Allen. We're gonna. This guy's gonna be really mad. He did just take Stefon Diggs, but if you're gonna let me get Josh Allen, what's this? His ADP is 19.9. You're gonna let me get him, 27, like a half round later. I'm going to take that value, even if it's unstacked. Sorry. I know that guy's going to be pissed. I would be too. But it's the way she goes, man. I won't forget you, Randy. They call him Mr. March. That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been saying. Where's T. Higgins going? That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. We know the Colts have re-signed. Tampa has re-signed. Jacksonville has gotten their guy. Could the Bills make a play at him? The issue is I don't think the Bills have much salary cap space to go around. Who are like the salary cap space leaders right now? Because the issue is that when you trade for T. Higgins, you're going to have to sign him to a long-term extension. I know a lot of my Jets fan brethren have been really stoked on T. Higgins, but there's just no way. Yeah, there's no way the Jets trade for him and then also pay him. There's just no way. Man, I'm just looking at like the highest cap space teams. Like all of these would be really nasty, fellas. It's like Commanders. I don't think the Commanders would. The Patriots could. If the Patriots did, and then they drafted like Drake May or Jaden Daniels, that actually becomes pretty fun. Titans maybe, but that's I kind of doubt it. They do have the connection with Callahan back to Cincinnati though. I'm just looking at this in case if you guys are curious. Cardinals could if they're not going to get Marquise Brown back. Texans probably not. Colts probably not. They already have Pittman. I don't know. I could see the Giants doing it too. I mean, they did just shell out a lot of money for Brian Burns and a lot of draft picks for him though too. So we'll see. It seems like a market that doesn't have too many suitors. The Lions could as well. They could trade like their late first and give their cash, and that would be kind of fun. The issue with T. Higgins, man, is not only on the Bengals, but in real life, he kind of just profiles as a receiver that's best as a 1B. You know, like the Lions, he'd be a 1B behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who else would be kind of named there? But it seems like a lot of the situations he could get traded to, it seems like half the time he'd be the 1B. So, I don't know. You said Eckler was playing hurt. He's playing hurt, but he's old as hell and hasn't really been efficient in a while. Now he's going to Washington. Like, I'm just good on that. Who are the Giants going to get to run the ball? So they signed Devin Singletary today, but I think that they'll probably draft somebody. We'll see. Seeing that sideline breakaway run from Eckler after trading for him. Yeah, exactly, dude. I know it's one clip, and I know that he's coming off an injury, but he's coming off an injury like it seems like the last couple of years. And look, I know he's in the fantasy space, and I love that he does anything for the fantasy community, but like the days of Eckler being anybody really worth drafting or talking about are kind of behind us at this point. I don't know. It depends on where he settles. Like if we look at his like redraft price, he's in this area. I'm probably taking Najee Pollard and James Conner over him. I guess I would take him over Brian Robinson, but that's just because he got drafted to Washington. We don't know what's going to happen with Mixon yet. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I guess Austin Eckler could become a fun like 0 RB type of guy, you know? We just had Drake London go with a 307, which doesn't even feel that crazy. I feel like that's where he was. I'm not sure where he was going pre-today, but 307's a really strong price for him, literally right next to Olave, which to me makes sense. But yeah, fellas, if I answer a question, make sure you leave a like. Again, it just helps the stream out a ton. This is the most we've had in a stream in a while, just because I guess the free agency bump, so keep her coming. I think my answer would depend on your team. Pollard signing was gross, yeah. So the Titans, that was gross too. All of these running back spots have been gross. And then you also know that, let's go James Cook to stack with Josh Allen. Because it's not like you can't really get Gabe Davis. We can maybe go for Dalton Kincaid later. So let's go James Cook. I'm not all that crazy about James Cook, but I am fine with a nice little correlation there. Check down City where, Randy? I was thinking the same. Jacobs going to be on the offense, going to be fun to watch. Yeah, I could see Jacobs having a little revival in Green Bay. That's fun. After like a pretty awful year. We got Zay, Reed. I'm probably going to go Zay Flowers. I do wonder if we should be hesitant at all about the weird off the field thing, but it seems like it's a non-issue. I'll just continue to put my head in the sand about that whole thing. DJ super high is in DJ Moore? Or am I bugging? DJ Moore does go very high. He goes early second in these. Not a price I've been pushing the button on a ton, but the second round as a whole sucks. Who would you think in the NFL draft will get May? I don't think he falls out of the top 3 picks despite all the smoke screen. I think it'll be Washington, Patriots, or the Bears. Because I could see the Bears trading with the Washington Commanders and then taking May. So we'll see. London, a second-round redraft pick. Now, he just went in the 3rd. I think that's probably comfortable. I'd probably take him right around this area. I don't know. 2nd is too rich for me. Saquon at 14 feels steep. Sadly, I think that's what his price is going to be. I mean, to be fair, who do you guys prefer, JT or Saquon here? And is Achane even in the conversation with those 3? To me, I found Travis Etienne to be an amazing value. To me, he's in the same tier as these 3, and he goes around later. But taking him out of the equation, it's tough. I probably prefer Achane to both Taylor and Saquon. I probably have Saquon last of this group of running backs, though. I do. He's just hasn't been amazing. He's been fine. He'll be good on the Eagles and a good offense. I guess the hope with Saquon is he scores 20 touchdowns. Because he's not catching 100 balls. I don't know. We'll see what that offensive line looks like without Jason Kelce. I did see someone point that out, that maybe the tush push and the subsequent Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns maybe gets... maybe it dies down a little bit because Jason Kelce's not there, so we'll see. Are you a Caleb believer? Been hearing so much back. Oh, I love Caleb. I think all of the naysayers are idiots with they think because he paints his nails it's an issue. I don't know. I mean, is it kind of cringe, some of the stuff he does? Sure, but he's a freaking stud. What are the Pollard trade details? It wasn't a trade. I think they just signed him. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. has been going early, man. That's his ADP right now. It's pretty wild. Wow, okay, so I'm really behind on the chat right now, fellas. I am really behind. I mean, Washington has they don't have an interesting backfield. They have a clogged backfield that's like kind of disgusting. Pittman production with Minshew, yeah, that's gonna hurt him. Love me some Ron content. What's up, man? What's up? What's the gap between Neighbors and Caleb in a 10-team Superflex league? Pretty big. Probably a first. Maybe more. Maybe 2 firsts. Maybe a first and a half. Something like that. A first and a player. I'm just trying to think because I have Caleb as like essentially my 111 in a startup, whereas Neighbors is more like an early 3rd. So whatever you think closes the gap between an early 3rd startup and the 110 in a startup. I don't know if one singular first would be enough. Where we put in Drake London and Pitts at now since the Kirk signing? What format? But they get a big boost in all formats. Pitts a little less so, because I've always believed in Pitts, and Pitts doesn't... Tight ends don't need to be in the best offense of all time to succeed. We've seen that with like Darren Waller before. Allen got restructured. I should really be looking at my phone as well. Oh yeah, the Panthers are a good spot for T. Higgins. Damn it, Noah fans re-signing with the Seahawks, but they do have a new offensive coordinator, and I think Will Dissly and Colby Parkinson are gone. So that's like not terrible. Oh, so Josh Allen restructured his contract, huh? I really should be looking at my phone for this. That's my bad, fellas. I know you guys have been kind of telling me in the comments here. Damn, so Onwenu stayed with the Patriots. I was hoping that he could come to the Jets. Noah Fanta stayed with the Seahawks on $10.5 million a year. Or like $10 million a year. Wow. What else we got? Yeah, Noah Fant re-signed, but here's the thing, fellas. Here's the thing. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Because, again, they have a new offensive coordinator who's not going to use as many heavy tight end sets. And then they also got rid of Colby Parkinson and Will Dissly earlier today, if I remember correctly. So Aaron Jones not drafted, understandably so. Let's go D-Hop, man. I put it on my Twitter the other day, but the D-Hop fall-off has been wildly overstated. But yeah, well, if we look here at tight end, yeah, so Colby Parkinson, and I think Will Dissly too. He's not listed here, but Colby Parkinson now with the Rams, and I believe Will Dissly signed with the Chargers. So he now finds himself as the only tight end in that room. The only issue is he's 4th in targets at best. So yeah, it's not great for him. It's not as grim as it was before, but it does suck. It does actually suck now that I'm thinking it through more. Damn it. It would have been nice to see Noah Fant completely freed up here. Any fantasy reaction to the Steelers and Russ for Russ and the other Steelers players? Oh yeah, I forgot. It's funny. We haven't even really touched on the stuff that happened prior to today. We have the Russell Wilson trade, the Jerry Jeudy trade. But Russell Wilson's great for all the Steelers, man. Like you can say that he was bad or whatever, but he passed for damn near 30 passing touchdowns last year. And I'm actually pretty excited about what he looks like with man, there is nothing fun in this area. Let's go Kyle Pitts. You know what? This is like Kyle Pitts, a little bit of a discount, I think. I know we're picking him 10 picks ahead of his ADP, but this is probably where he'll settle in post-Kirk signing. So I don't hate it. So what was I about to say? Oh, yeah, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's, like, I mean, he's not amazing per se, you know, but, like, can I look up quarterbacks in 2023? Come on. Don't take forever on me here. All I'm trying to show is he wasn't terrible last year, you know? He ended up here. He had a really good, I think that he had one of the best completion percentage over expectation. He's in this top right of EPA per play, that's efficiency, and then completion percentage over expectation. He was decent. Like, he wasn't terrible. The Broncos' offense wasn't terrible. Like, if we just look at, I know that this is very simple, but if we just look at, like, NFL team stats, and go here, we can say that the Broncos weren't dead last like the Steelers. I know in yards they were decent, or not great, but yeah. In terms of points scored, the Broncos were here with, like, what's that, 21? And then you have the Steelers all the way down here, 17.9. So it's like a bit of a you know, a step up for them. It's not great though, I will say. 191.9 passing yards per game to 186 that the Steelers had the year prior. Score more points. I don't know. The QB efficiency is just better. I do want to look at RBs don't matter real quick. Just comparing their offenses versus each other. But the reason to be excited is that Russell Wilson, it gives you better quarterback play than the Steelers have had since Ben Roethlisberger. Like, this is the best quarterback play they're going to have in a while. It is crazy that it's really not that crazy of a jump. I mean, it's pretty good, 43.7% success rate. Yeah, it's not great, but Russell Wilson was at least, like, decent statistically last year that you can, you know, sell yourself on him being kind of like Ryan Tannehill for Arthur Smith, because now you have Arthur Smith, who we don't love Arthur Smith, but you have to remember, he's had Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota the last 2 years. When he was with Ryan Tannehill, you had some of Ryan Tannehill's best years were with Arthur Smith, right? Like, I believe, yeah, this range right here was with Arthur Smith, where you got like 21 touchdowns, 33, 22, really efficient offense there as well. I think that's what you could see with Russell Wilson, like a lot of play action, not passing the ball a ton, but when he does, it's efficient, pushing the ball downfield. I think it's great for George Pickens. I think he can be a lot like what Sutton was last year. Deontay Johnson, though, is actually another interesting piece of free agency, but the Russell Wilson move, I think, is huge. Like, all of the Steelers, I feel like, project better now. Like, Najee projects better, Pickens projects better, Freiermuth, because at least we know they're going to have, like, average quarterback play when you could have penciled them in for, like, bottom 5, you know? London's gonna close as a late second pick, huh? The issue is he doesn't have a top 12 finish like those guys, Nico and DJ Moore, or even, like, you know, like top 15 finishes. So I don't know. We'll see what kind of hype he gets from the market, but I'm not sure if he'll be a late second. Like, I don't know that he passes Rashee Rice, Devontae Adams, Stefon Diggs area. We'll see. We'll truly see. Excited to see a Rashid White type season from Tajay, assuming Henry's out. Well, they just grabbed Pollard, so cannot happen, really. Henry isn't signed in Dallas. It's safe to assume the Cowboys would be targeting a rookie RB like Brooks or Benson. I think it would. Seems like Brooks is someone they've been linked to a ton because I think that he's been treating his ACL at their facility. What's up, Genji? This is just a year of running back shakeup. Yeah. It seems like just the way the running back market is right now that we're going to have a lot of this. You think it was right for the Panthers to trade with the Bears? No. If Henry goes to the Chargers, does his value skyrocket? Derrick Henry, In Dynasty, not really. I guess it skyrockets like relatively. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that he'll ever be like a top 4-round Dynasty guy or a first-round redraft pick. But if he went to the Chargers, you are right. If he went to the Chargers, he'd be maybe in this range here in the second round of redraft. To be honest with you. $101 or T-Law and the 109. Oh my God. T-Law the 109 and a 25 first. Give me T-Law the 109 and a 25 first for the 101. I think I would be comfortable selling for that price. T-Law and 2 firsts. Let's grab Deontay and kind of figure out the rest here. I don't want to grab too much quarterback. Could maybe go with a running back here. I don't know. What else we got? What else? Yeah, I talked about Gabe Davis to the Jags earlier. I think would you guys sell the 101 for this? I think I would. Is that 109 or a 25 first? Because if it's the 109 and a 25 first plus T-Law for the 101, I think I would. Let's see here. We could go quarterback, but I don't want to go quarterback. We have Sutton, A.D. Mitchell. Let's go Javonte. We need a running back. Javonte in the 9th round. 2 years now post ACL. New look offense. Why not? These mid-round running backs looking real nice. Yeah, I agree. Where did Josh Jacobs end up going? Wow, so Josh Jacobs ended up going in the 4th. I don't know if that's his ADP or whatever, but that sounds about right, though. It's going to be tough to grapple with whether or not Josh Jacobs is a dead zone running back or not. Probably is. He's a 4th-round guy on the Packers, but there is certainly upside from the payoff like he did in 2022. I'm trying to see who else were the big movers. So Eckler still won in the 6th. I mean, that guy's asleep at the wheel. Let's see. Like I said, I think Najee quietly gets a bump from the Russ thing. Ramondre gets a pretty big ding for me. I wouldn't still take him in the 7th. Swift, I guess, would be like unchanged. Pollard kind of unchanged. Brian Robinson should not be an 8th-round pick with Eckler coming to town. I think I would prefer Javonte over Brian Robinson straight up. What do you think will happen with Fields? I think he'll probably get traded on draft night. That's my guess. I imagine one of the QB-needed teams like the Broncos miss out on a quarterback, and they start panicking, and they get Fields for like a day 2 pick. We'll see. Henry to the Dolphins. I don't know, man. They got so many running backs already. Fields bagging groceries this year. Can you predict the other free agent player that have no deal with the team yet? That's not really my specialty. I'm going to be honest with you. I might throw out a couple, though. Tannehill is an interesting one. I mean, I could see Sam. I would love to see Sam Darnold on the Vikings. That's like a personal wish list item. Just as like a Jets fan that wants to see Sam Darnold get his true justice, I would love that. Tannehill is interesting. Tannehill, I don't know where he could even go at this point. I feel like his 2 spots were the Falcons and the Steelers. They're gone. Give me Darnold on the Vikings. I guess Tannehill. I guess every quarterback available is now looking at the Vikings. Broncos too, sort of. I think Derrick Henry, I think we talked about it, but like Chargers, Cowboys, Ravens kind of makes the most sense there. Wide receiver is interesting. I would love if one of these guys go to the Jets, not for fantasy, but just for my own sanity. I guess we wouldn't mind seeing some of them go to the Panthers just to get Bryce Young something over there. But I don't know, it's tough. The prediction stuff with free agency isn't exactly my strong suit, I will say. Fields going to go to the Vikings, I would love to see it. I just don't know. The biggest holdup there is I don't know that the Bears would trade within their own division. Because on the off chance that Justin Fields pans out and then they have to play him twice every year, that's pretty brutal. T-Law on the 110 or in the 25 first. I think I would, man. It's tough. It's real close. I think I would. A random 25 first, the 109, and Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. It kind of depends on where your team is at, because it seems like this guy is really good. I don't know. I think it's fair value. I wouldn't be like jumping head over heels to make that trade. But if I was looking to net some draft capital on top of the 101, I don't hate it. Oh, my bad. I feel like I think I meant more so like now that I can't stack Josh Allen to Gabe, I want James Cook. You see Warren taking over? Okay, we're on the clock. Well, let's get Shakur. Let's keep sort of stacking the Josh Allen here. We do need to be mindful about. We really need to start hammering running back soon. That one was just tough to pass up on. Yeah, it seems like we're having a lot of these recently. I'm pissed about the Jets. I know it's not a fantasy player, but Bryce Huff going to the Eagles. Homegrown talent for the Jets. I think he was an undrafted guy. He's been sick. Then we draft Will McDonald last year. Man. No, give me Devin Singletary on the Giants. Maybe he's their RB1 there, and I get a little bit of closing line value. We'll see how his ADP adjusts, but Singletary is the only running back on the Giants right now. I feel like you could do a lot worse with an 11th round pick. But yeah, the Jets didn't extend Bryce Huff last offseason. They just gave him like a 1-year tenure. Then this year he has another amazing year. Do nothing at the trade deadline. Let him walk for free. Just absolute fucking idiots, man. With Allen restructuring, do you think Ridley to Buffalo is a possibility? I think so, but I'm not a big cap guy, so I don't even know if it is possible financially. Vikings going to trade up for McCarthy. They could. JJ to JJ connection. You traded Addison, Kendra, the 106, 201, and 207, and you received Jettis in a 3/3. Addison, the 106. It's a lot of moving parts, but I don't hate it at all, man. You said you still have the 101, the 206. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's a lot, but I'm probably fine with that. I'd say it's about even. I don't think you really got to steal or anything. I think real hard Dolphins fans are going nuts because of the free agents. Well, because the Dolphins haven't really done anything, right? The Dolphins, they let go Christian Wilkins, Van Ginkel gone. Will Gabe be wide receiver 1 if Ridley's traded? No, it'll be Christian Kirk. Gabe Davis is. I'm viewing Gabe Davis like pretty much exactly how I viewed him on the Bills, like splash week, wide receiver, like fringe wide receiver 3. Love that pick. What, Singletary? What's up, Rowan? What's up? Cap doesn't exist. I mean, you say that, but then like the Bills had to cut like all of their guys. I mean, the cap does. Eckler to the commies, pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Man, I wish we got Jermaine Illuminor. He's like a pretty low-level tackle, but he went to the same high school as me. He goes to the Giants instead of the Jets. Cool for him to come back home, but cut him because they all suck. I suppose. What else we got? We got any more free agency questions? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I haven't covered yet? We talked through Kirk. Baker stays in Tampa, so that's great for all the Tampa guys. Gardner Minshew on the Raiders is weird. I don't know if they're going to draft somebody still. I don't know if Minshew's just now their guy. I have to say I kind of liked Antonio Pierce, but he may just be an idiot. Like, this is starter money. And then they also got the Chargers GM, who like absolutely sucks. Who's the OC that they got? Like, they almost got Kingsbury, and then they got somebody else that's, like, not that inspiring. A lot of fun QB options, though. Again, would love the Vikings to get Sam Darnold. That would be fun. Yeah, I don't think anything else really sticks out. Brutal for J.K. Dobbins to be a free agent after his Achilles injury. What else? Let me know if you guys got any other questions. I'm not sure. Oh, Devin Duvernay signed with the Jaguars. I didn't know that. That's not really a needle mover for fantasy, but that's interesting, I guess. Still, it's actually crazy how many, like, we still have a lot of wide receiver dominoes to fall. We still have Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, OBJ, Mooney, Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel, DJ Chark, Michael Thomas. There's a lot of moving pieces at wide receivers still. I feel like it's not that bad for Brian Robinson. I feel like it's pretty bad, but it'll be baked into his price and then be fine, I'd say. Getsy? Oh, Luke Getsy. Yeah, geez, dude. The freaking Bears. Yeah, I mean, that's brutal. You're going to have Luke Getsy at OC with Gardner Minshew out there. I shouldn't have taken Devontae Adams. That's a pretty brutal offense to be a part of. That team's a shit show. I kind of believed in Antonio Pierce, but that's awful. If Fields gets traded to the Vikings, how will Jefferson and other Minnesota receivers be affected? That's interesting. I think all of them get a downgrade. I think Jefferson the least because he's so untouchable, and a Kevin O'Connell offense will probably always scheme him open. But your passing volume is going to go down to bottom 10, and that then screws a lot of things up. I mean, you'll get a little bit of cushion with T.J. Hawkinson off the ACL, and it'll be really just Addison and Jefferson for the early part of the year. But, yeah, that's not super ideal. We need a running back here. We're not taking Roshan. Kind of down to start taking some of these rookies. I'm going to take Freiermuth. Freiermuth's a great value right now. I've been taking a lot of him. You could talk me into Drake May if he comes back around here, I will say as well. Miami, we're not going to have any options with. I guess like Minshew with the Raiders we could take still. Levis with the Titans. I'm going to chill for now on that, though. Might go for like a 2-7-8-3. I feel like I could get away with like Josh Allen and Will Levis and call that a day. What else we got? Trading the 107 and 106 for the 103 and a one quarterback. So what's that? Not Neighbors. It's like Bowers or Odunze for... I don't love it. I'd want one of the top two picks for that price, I think. But it's tough. One quarterback's not my specialty. I would lean... 106 and 107 are probably what, like 80 Mitchell and Xavier Worthy? Or 103 would be Odunze? I guess I'd lean 103 side, but it doesn't feel great. It's tough. Again, I don't play in any one quarterback dynasty league, so I would take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. Is Gus Edwards going to be important, or do Chargers just draft a new guy? They're going to draft somebody, and Gus Edwards will be overvalued until then. But then once he reverts back to like late round dart throw that's free, then he becomes a great value again. Are you a hold on Jahan Dotson? Have an offer on the table for 208? Oh, take the. I think I'd take the 208. I know that doesn't feel great, but I think I would. Any second, really, I think I'd take. That's fair. Devontae can produce anywhere, but it's just not fun. What NFL player you wish were in free agency? I don't know that I have a wish for anybody to be in free agency. Got one more for you, Ron. Would you take Marv at 101 if you already had Stroud and Kyler? I wouldn't hate it because I have Marv pretty close to Caleb. Like, they're not that far off, but I really would still prefer to go Caleb and then try to move around quarterback value from there. Maybe see if you could sell Stroud off for a Jefferson Chase type. So probably missed your take on Pitts and Long. What's up, Pesky? Yeah, I touched on it earlier, but they all get a huge bump up. I would say, however you perceived Chris Olave in redraft and Dynasty, Drake London's now right next to him. And then past that, like Drake London to me is probably like a third in redraft, probably a third in Dynasty as well in terms of startup value. Pitts doesn't get a massive bump for me because I've always held pretty firm on Pitts, and as like a tight end, I've sort of held the belief that he doesn't have to be like a world beater at tight end to still give you a good fantasy season, even with like a bad offense. So Pitts doesn't get as massive of a bump as you'd think, but I think the market will push him up a ton, which is really good. And then Bijan, of course, to me, it's still really close between him and Brees as RB2. But I think you now can put Bijan at RB2 if you'd like to, and as high as like top 6 in this area. So really nice for all of them. I do love their offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. I think he came from the Rams, so he's going to use a bell cow. All is right on the Falcons. The only issue really is Kirk coming off that Achilles. Will he be the same guy? How long until he's the same guy? Is kind of the only two like big question marks for me. You also won the 106, 108, 111, and 201. You think Titans' backfield is a 50-50 split with Pollard and Spears? No, I think it's probably a lean towards Pollard. How's with the value? Russ doesn't really target tight ends, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't really believe in that stuff. He targeted Greg Dulcich for a while. I don't know. If you have a good tight end, he'll get targeted. I don't really believe in that. I mean, I do get that he doesn't really target the middle of the field, but we are talking about a 12th round pick here in Freiermuth, you know? Like, I would take him over, any other tight end in this area. Take him over Hawkins and just went off an ACL. A late season ACL. Saquon a top 12 pick in a redraft. Not for me, but I think the market might get there. Good stuff. I don't know that the receiving upside is there. I think really his only path to being paying off as a first round pick is like damn near 20 touchdowns, which is like technically in his range. It's not great. Trade. All right, so we're on the clock here. I'll get to that in a second. Give me Bucky Irving. He had an awful combine, but I could still see a team taking him and liking him too. The numbers like him as well. You traded the 103, Rachaad White and Diggs from McCaffrey in the 111. Oh man, I don't love that one. Oh no, I wouldn't. The idea there, Mr. Big Slot, is the 103 is Malik Neighbors, who for me is going to be like pretty much like I would take the 103 over McCaffrey, and then Rachaad White and Diggs I would take over the 111 by a lot. So for me, the 103 side of that deal is huge. Hit that like button for your boy Ron. Yeah, exactly. If I answered any of your questions, if you're hanging out in here, leave a like. It helps the stream out a ton. We're out here grinding in March. Yep, of course, I got you. You said Mr. August put in work early. Well, I figured you guys would care about what I had to say about free agency. I figured why not hop on here. We might do another one tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on how many of these wide receivers change hands. We're up again. Give me Zach Moss. Maybe he signs somewhere juicy tomorrow, and we get some closing line value there. We'll truly see about that, though. What else we got, fellas? What's up? What's the draft looking like so far? Just got here. This is what we got going. We went Tyreek, even though I kind of wish we went Bijan for the fun of it after the Kirk Cousins stuff today. Devontae, Josh Allen, James Cook to stack to Josh Allen, Zay Flowers, D-Hop, Kyle Pitts, Deontay Johnson, Javonte, Khalil Shakur to stack to Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, who now finds himself on the Giants, Pat Freiermuth, Jalen Wright, Bucky Irving, Zach Moss. That's where we're at here. If I missed any moves here, just let me know in the comments. If something goes down in free agency that I miss while I'm on stream with you guys, let me know. What's the draft? All right, I already did that. Houston addressing RB. Probably stock bumped up today, so thinking of selling. I assume you mean Dameon Pierce. Yeah. Yeah, Dameon Pierce, not a bad sell with that. I think that he's just awful for the Slowick, like, running scheme. I don't know. I think it's that, like, 49ers zone type. It seems like it's not his strong suit. But I agree. I could easily see them going for, like, a Blake Corum, Estime, Benson, any of those guys. Prediction for T. I kind of think the most likely scenario is he stays put, but just to be fun, I could see him going to, like, the Panthers or, like, somewhere pretty shitty just to chase a bag. Like, I could see the Panthers or the Patriots. Think Pitts can average 16 plus PPR points per game with Kirk realistically this season? I think that's his upside. Like, realistically, 16 plus PPR is pretty brutal. That's like, you know, that's like the tight end 1 overall most years. So I wouldn't bet on it, but I think that's like, I think his upside, he now has that sort of like upside ceiling built in. There's still a lot of steam with Estime. The issue is that he ran a 4.72 at the combine, which people care about for running backs, especially ones that are as big as Estime. People were sort of hoping for low 4.6s, kind of like a David Montgomery. So he's going to be probably a day 3 pick now, Estime. So he definitely has lost steam. Anyone a hard buy for you in Dynasty right now? I feel like we just did a trade targets video. I'd say Trevor Lawrence is a good buy. DeAndre Hopkins. We'll see how his price settles, but Justin Fields I like as a buy right now. People are really panicked on him, rightfully so. But if I could buy Justin Fields for anything that's like a second, like an early second plus, something like that, I think I would. But you do always have to understand when you're trading for a guy like Fields, you are playing with fire, because he could just turn into Trey Lance and never start another game again. And that would be really, really bad. But for a second-round pick, you could do a lot worse things with a second-round pick. People were taking Hendon Hooker with a second-round pick last year, so I don't know. I did a poll earlier. People preferred the 112 to Fields. That's where I'm getting the early second from. People are 60-40 on the 112 to Fields, and I have to assume that's about 50-50 on like the 201, 202, 203 area. Tyreek in a 25 first for 105 and Saquon. Yeah. Dang. That is close. I don't love giving up the 25 first there. Well, give me Treylon Burks. We'll keep going with this Titan stack here. Man, that's a tough one, Pesky. Tyreek in a 25 first for the 105, because like 105 is Neighbors or Daniels, whatever. But regardless, I would prefer the 105 like just a hair over Tyreek. The issue is I would prefer a 25 first over Saquon by a good bit. It's about dead even for me. It's about dead even. I would say slight lean to the 105 side, but it's like as close can be. Who's projected to fall to the 112 in Superflex rookie drafts? Right now, that's like 80 Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, Bo Nix area. Troy Franklin. Your RB1, if you feel strongly about it. Do you think playing Aaron Rodgers hurts the Jets' activity in free agency? You think paying him? I don't think so. I think he took a pay cut this past year. But they definitely have a lot of have a lot of dead cap. I wouldn't say it's Aaron Rodgers as much as it's been these ass free agents these last few years with C.J. Mosley being like one of the highest paid linebackers. You got Carl Lawson in there. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is even that bad of a contract right now. They are definitely spending a lot on Zach Wilson as well and a backup quarterback. It's just really bad cap management. Yeah, you got a 21 mil cap hit for C.J. Mosley. 17 for Rodgers isn't bad at all. It's like, Daniel Jones type money. Paying 16 million to freaking John Franklin Myers. Paying 12 million to Alan Lazard. That'll fucking do it. 9 mil to Tyler Conklin. 11.1 to Zach Wilson. I mean, it's just awful, dude. We're paying bad players a lot of money. It's awful, man. Alan Lazard for fucking 12 mil. And you literally can't. The way his contract is set up is you literally can't even cut him. You cut him and you have to pay $6 million more than that. You're then $18 million in the hole. You cut him. God, that Lazard free agency signing was freaking brutal, man. Just awful cap management all around. 12-team start 10. Anthony Richardson, Laporta, Jaden Reed, and Pop Douglas, or the 102 McBride, HN, and the 202. God damn, that's close. God damn, that's close. All right, let's make this pick. We're good at quarterback. Let's go with Justice Hill. Gus Edwards now gone. He becomes kind of interesting. So this might be a weird looking 8 running back team. I think we're gonna go 8 running backs on this team. We took James Cook and then like nothing really else. So I'm fine doing that. We need like a last minute tight end here. We're gonna take Dawson Knox now that I think about it. We'll take Dawson Knox as a nice little stack to Josh Allen. He's not going anywhere. All right, this is a fun looking team. And then we'll take a running back here and it'll be a 2-8-7-3. Leonard Williams to re-sign with the Seahawks. Good for him. Jacoby Brissett in New England. I assume he'll be the bridge quarterback for whoever they draft. I don't know that it's like a massive story there, but you said Richardson, Laporta, Jaden Reed, Pop Douglas. To me, the 102 and Anthony Richardson are about a wash. I would say McBride and the 202 for Laporta is about a wash. And you're looking at HN for Jaden Reed and like Pop Douglas. I think I prefer the 102 side, but it's really close, man. It's really close and there's a lot of moving parts, but I think I prefer the 102 side. It's a tough one. I have 325 first in a stack team. Yeah, if you have 325 first to play around with, then I don't hate that side at all, Pesky. I really don't. Brissett to the Pats again. Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting. Again, I think that he'll just be a good backup / bridge. Kind of like what Fitzpatrick was for Tua, kind of like that situation. So we'll see. It does muddy things a ton for like redraft purposes, where when you're drafting Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, you're drafting them to start all 17 games. Whoever goes to the Patriots could easily sit behind Brissett for like 6 games, which does throw a wrench into things. Yeah, they're paying Alan Lazard $12 million a year, man. It's awful. It's awful. Can I show it? Yeah. I mean, it's just brutal, dude. This is who we're C.J. Mosley, Franklin Myers, who's like, whatever. The Lazard contract is fucking mind-boggling. Look at this shit, man. I mean, it's crazy. I guess we can cut him after this year. have 6 million in dead cap, save like, I don't know. Save like 7 mil and then 4. It's just awful, man. It's just freaking brutal. We brought him over because he's Rodgers' buddy. One of the dumber things you can do in football. Let the GM go crazy. But whatever. What are you going to do, man? You're competing. Do we see a Dameon Pierce rebound year, or is he just another day 3 flash in the pan kind of guy? I think it's the latter. I think he's just another day 3 flash in the pan guy. It sucks. You would have liked him to be better. But yeah, I just don't think I just don't think that he fits in this Texans scheme. I think that they're gonna draft somebody or grab somebody. They didn't use him at all. Like they used Devin Singletary as a legit bell cow because of how much Dameon Pierce wasn't effective in their offense. I think he'd be good somewhere else though, if that is any consolation. You got Mahomes, Hurts, and Love, and need to upgrade at RB. Any ideas on who I should target in a tier down at running back? Huh. I'd maybe see what I could do with Love and just go from like Love to Bijan or Breece Hall. I don't mind that. No, this needs to be a last second running back. I hate that I just drafted Ezekiel Elliott, but it's what had to be done. I was looking for Isaiah Davis. He got drafted, huh? He got drafted 2004. I've been liking Isaiah Davis. I'll leave you guys with that. Isaiah Davis is a really fun sleeper out of, I believe, South Dakota State. I think he played behind. I believe he played behind Pierre Strong over there, and then he actually outproduced him for a while. You said rest in peace, Spears. I wish I sold more of him. I don't have any, but that is a brutal one. Aaron Jones going. I would love to see the Texans. We just talked about how Dameon Pierce has been so bad there. I'd love to see him go back home. I think that's where he's from, and I want to say he went to school at UTEP over there. But that's going to do it for us today. We talked a bunch of free agency, a bunch of it. And if we get another good free agency day tomorrow, I'll probably run this back again. We'll see if we get some landing spots for like Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, Marquise Brown, Michael Thomas, if Michael Thomas is even playing again. But I appreciate all you guys watching. Again, that was an Underdog fantasy draft. You want to hop in there. They have pick'ems where you go higher or lower on like projections for, you can do basketball, you can do college basketball. They have everything you could possibly imagine. I know we have like baseball coming up too if you're a sicko that likes baseball and want to, see what that's all about. But I think this was a good recap. Regardless, I appreciate you guys. And I will see y'all in the next one.